The Grand Master is the holder of the supreme office of the Teutonic Order. It is equivalent to the Grand Master of other military orders and the Superior General in non-military Roman Catholic religious orders. Hochmeister, literally High Master, is only used in reference to the Teutonic Order, as Großmeister is used in German to refer to the leaders of other orders of knighthood. An early version of the full title in Latin was Magister Hospitalis Sanctae Mariae Alemannorum Hierosolymitani. Since 1216, the full title Magister Hospitalis Domus Sanctae Mariae Teutonicum Hierosolymitani was used. The offices of Hochmeister and Deutschmeister were united in 1525. The title of Magister Germaniae had been introduced in 1219 as the head of the bailiwicks in the Holy Roman Empire. From 1381 also those in Italy raised to the rank of a prince of the Holy Roman Empire in 1494, but merged with the office of headmaster under Walter von Kronberg in 1525, from which time the head of the order had the title of Hoch and Deutschmeister. Coat of arms. The coat of arms representing the Grand Master is shown with a golden cross fleury across potent superimposed on the black cross, with the imperial eagle as a central inner scutcheon. The golden cross fleury overlaid on the black cross becomes widely used in the 15th century. A legendary account attributes its introduction to Louis IX of France, who on the 20th of August 1250 granted the Master of the Order this cross as a variation of the Jerusalem cross, with the fleur-de-lis symbol attached to each arm. While this legendary account cannot be traced back further than the early modern period, there is some evidence that the design does indeed date to the mid-13th century, before the Reformation. Compared to other medieval governments, transfer of power within the Teutonic Knights was run efficiently. Upon the death of a Grand Master, the Vice-Master called a capitulum of the leading officers of the order. The General Chapter would select a 12-person electoral college composed of 7 knights, 4 sergeants, and 1 priest. Once a majority candidate for headmaster was chosen, the minority electors would concede to support unanimity. These elections usually provided a succeeding Grand Master within 3 months. Candidates for the position of Grand Master had experience as senior administrators for the order and were usually chosen on merit, not lineage. This changed only after the order had entered a steady decline, with the selection of Frederick of Saxony and Albert of Brandenburg-Ansbach, members of the powerful Wettin and House of Hohenzollern dynasties. When the Teutonic Knights were originally based in Acre in Outremer, the Grand Masters spent much of the time at the papal and imperial courts. The Grand Masters were most powerful after the order's 13th century conquest of Prussia during the Northern Crusades and the creation of the militarized state of the Teutonic Order, which lasted until 1525. After the order's capital moved from Venice to Marienburg in 1309, the Grand Master's power was at its height. He had ultimate control over Prussia, which gave him command over the Prussian commanders. When the General Chapter would meet in Elbing, he was able to use this influence to ratify administrative measures he proposed. The Grand Master also served as the Castellan of Marienburg and was aided by the order's treasurer. He was also a member of the Hanseatic League, allowing him to receive some of the League's custom dues. Excavations in the Church of Quidzon performed in 2007 yielded the skeletal remains of 3 headmasters of the late medieval period: Werner von Orseln, Ludolf König and Heinrich von Plauen. The church had been known as the burial place of the bishops of Pomerania, but the discovery of the Grand Master's burials was unexpected. The bodies had been buried in gold-painted wooden coffins draped in silk robes. The Teutonic Order as a hospice brotherhood in Outremer, 1190 Master Sibrand, 1190–1192 Conrad, 1192 Gerhard, 1193 94 Heinrich, Prior, 1195 to 1196 Ulrich, 1196 Heinrich, Preceptor, Grand Masters of the Order, 1198 to 1525. The Teutonic Order as a spiritual military order had a total of 37 Grand Masters between 1198 and 1525. Several armorials of the 15th and early 16th century depict the coat of arms of the headmasters. These include the Chronicle by Ulrich Reichenthal, an armorial of St. Gallen kept in Nuremberg, an armorial of southwest Germany kept in Leipzig, and the Miltenberg armorial. Conspicuously absent from these lists are three headmasters: Gerhard von Malberg and his successors Heinrich von Hohenlohe and Gunther von Wallersleben, so that pre-modern historiographical tradition has a list of 34 Grand Masters for the time before 1525. 1. 1198 Sometime before 1208 Heinrich Walpott von Bassenheim. 2. Documented for 1208 Otto von Kerpen. 3. 1208 to 1209 Heinrich von Thunner. 4. 1209 to 1239 Hermann von Sulzer. As a friend and counselor of Emperor Frederick II, Hermann achieved the recognition of the order as of equal status with the older military orders of the Knights Hospitalis and the Knights Templar, by Pope Honorius III. In 1237, he also oversaw the incorporation of the Livonian Brothers of the Sword into the Teutonic Order. 5. 1239 to 1240 Conrad von Thüringen. 1240 to 1244 Gerhard von Malberg. 1244 to 1249 Heinrich von Hohenlohe. 1249 to 1252 Gunther von Wallersleben. 6. 1252 to 1256 Popo von Osterna was chosen in opposition to Popo von Osterna. 7. 1256 to 1273 Anno von Sangershausen. 8. 1273 to 1282 Hartmann von Heldrung. And 9. 1282 or 1283 to 1290 Burchard von Schwanden. 10. 1290 to 1297 Conrad von Feuchtwangen. After the fall of Acre, Conrad moved the order's headquarters to Venice. 11. 1297 to 1303 Gottfried von Hohenlohe. 12. 1303 to 1311 Siegfried von Feuchtwangen, of the same family as his predecessor Conrad von Feuchtwangen. Siegfried moved the order's headquarters to Prussia in 1309. 13. 1311 to 1324 Karl von Trier. 14. 1324 to 1330 Werner von Orsulm. 15. 1331 to 1335 Luther von Braunschweig. 16. 1335 to 1341 Dietrich von Altenburg. 17. 1342 to 1345 Ludolf König. 18. 1345 to 1351 Heinrich Jusma. 19. 1351 to 1382 Winrich von Nipro. 20. 1382 to 1390 Konrad Zollner von Rothenstein. 21. 1391 to 1393 Konrad von Wallenrode. 22. 1393 to 1407 Konrad von Jungingen. 23. 1407 to 1410 Ulrich von Jungingen. 24. 1410 to 1413 Heinrich von Plauen. 25. 1414 to 1422 Michael Kuchmeister von Sternberg. 26. 1422 to 1441 Paul von Rersdorf. 27. 1441 to 1449 Konrad von Erlichshausen. 28. 1449 of 1450 to 1467 Ludwig von Erlichshausen. 29. 1467 to 1470 Heinrich Rus von Plauen 30. 1470 to 1477 Heinrich Riefel von Richtenberg 31. 1477 to 1489 Martin Truxas von Wetzhausen 32. 1489 to 1497 Johann von Tiefen 33. 1497 to 1510 Frederick, Duke of Saxony 34. 1510 to 1525 Albert of Brandenburg-Ansbach, Duke of Prussia after the Reformation. Grand Master Albert of Brandenburg-Ansbach converted to Lutheranism and turned the Ordensstaat into the secular, Lutheran Duchy of Prussia in 1525. The Teutonic Order retained its holdings in Germany and autonomous Livonia, however, due to being limited to the possessions in other parts of Germany, which were led by the Hochmeister. The titles Hochmeister and Deutschmeister were combined during the reign of Walter von Kronberg, who was appointed by Emperor Charles V. This dual title lasted until 1923. For centuries the Jägerregiment Wien of the military of Austria was known as the Hoch- und Deutschmeister Regiment. Hoch- und Deutschmeister 1530-1929-1527-1543 Walter von Kronberg 1543 to 1566 Wolfgang Schutzbach 1566 to 1572 Georg Hunt von Weckheim 1572 to 1590 Heinrich von Bobenhausen 1590 to 1618 Maximilian of Austria 1619 to 1624 Karl I of Austria 1625 to 1627 Johann Eustache von Westernach 1627 to 1641 Johann Caspar von Stadion 1641 to 1662 Archduke Leopold Wilhelm of Austria 1662 to 1664 Archduke Karl Joseph of Austria 1664 to 1684 Johann Caspar von Ambringen 1685 to 1694 Ludwig Anton of Palatinate-Neuburg 1694 to 1732 Ludwig Franz of Palatinate-Neuburg 1732 to 1761 Prince Clemens August of Bavaria 1761 to 1780 Prince Charles Alexander of Lorraine 1780 to 1801 Archduke Maximilian Franz of Austria 1801 to 1804 Archduke Charles, Duke of Teschen 1804 to 1835 Archduke Anton Victor of Austria 1835 to 1863 Archduke Maximilian of Austria-Est 1863 to 1894 Archduke Wilhelm Franz of Austria 1894 to 1923 Archduke Eugen of Austria 1923 to 1929 Norbert Klein 1929 Present-day time of the Teutonic Order as a clerical Roman Catholic religious order 1929 to 1933 Norbert Klein 1933 to 1936 Paul Heider 1936 to 1948 Robert Schaske 1948 to 1970 Marian Tumler 1970 to 1988 Ildfens Paula 1988 to 2000 Arnold Uthmer Wieland 2000 Present Bruno Platter